Oh, hello. Looks like we're live. Let me test my audio here. Hello, hello. Can anyone hear me? I think so. It's working. My goodness. Okay. Gotta turn off my. All right. Looks like we are live. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining me. I'm glad you can hear me. Welcome to today's live stream. Let me make sure I have everything here. Hello, hello. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and get everything ready. The tech is working, thank God. Um, Let me start this properly here. Sorry, guys. I do everything myself, and there's a lot to do for these live streams. There's a lot to do, like so many little things that have to be done, and I do everything by myself. So, we got the thing going. Yes, 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 yes. And oops, there it is. Okay. Hello. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Thank you for joining me today. Today we are going to do a little demonstration on difficult and complex lighting. So complex lighting is something that is not easy, and it takes a little bit of understanding of light and a little bit of photography, and of course good fundamentals, understanding of drawing and things. So we'll cover some of that. What I'll do is I'll go through a little demonstration you see on my screen here. We're going to do a little demo of this image. We'll take it as far as we can go in the time that we have together. So I appreciate you being here. And before we begin, I wanted to announce that I have a brand new course called Lighting and Form Mastery. And this course is basically all of my best secrets and techniques and tools to talk about what we're going to do today. A lot of form rendering, understanding of light. So this is a lot of my real world knowledge coming from my experience as a movie poster artist for several years now, working on projects for all the big studios, Warner Brothers, Disney, Marvels, and all those things. And form rendering and realism is something that I have to do every day, and it's something that I think about a lot. And so, what you'll get in this course is basically all of my best tactics, real world stuff as I understand it. So, if you like my work, you like my videos, you like my live streams, and lighting and form is something that you're struggling with, this will be a great uh, course for you. And right now, if you go to my website, www.drawwithchris.com, there you can sign up for a free email list where you could get discount codes on this course. So this course is right now, it's currently in the private pre-launch mode, so it's only going to be available to my subscribers. So go to www.drawwithchris.com. You can enter your email there. You should be able to see the pop-up form if that's helpful, if you really want to um, get access to this course and receive a nice little pre-launch discount. Okay, let's examine the light because this is obviously necessary for us to understand what the light is doing, where it is, what type of light it is, what direction it's coming from, how strong it is. So we have to look at our model, our reference, and then start to get an understanding of the light. So if we look over here, this is, when I first started my journey learning realism and stuff, I started, with the typical academic type learning that I started in Southern California, Los Angeles area. So I learned a lot of typical academic stuff, especially the stuff that comes from the Students League, American realistic stuff, American illustrative tradition. So we do a lot of form lighting, single source lighting. And when I would see images like this, I used to get intimidated. I used to avoid images like this that had complex lighting, multiple light sources, rim lighting, side lighting, backlighting. A lot of, in fact, most of what you will see if you dig through reference or maybe you photograph your own models will not be academic lighting, single source spotlight type of thing. And especially for movie posters, that lighting is not flattering. So when they take a picture of Tom Cruise or Chris Hemsworth or Scarlett Johansson, and they take a picture of them that I have to draw, it's going to have beautiful, flattering lighting, which has no shadows, basically. So one thing I had to learn on the job was sort of to understand, and also taking up photography, I kind of understand what lights what kind of lights the photographers use, and then so how we can interpret them as artists. Okay, right now we have looking at our reference here, we see it's obviously Bruce Lee. It's a still from a movie, Return of the Dragon, I believe, and we clearly see a bunch of light and form and things. The first thing I see is I just see a big old mess. Because what my guess is, there's he's in a room and there's like five lights above him. He's in a typical room. There's like four, five, six, 10 big lights above him. So all of these lights are from few different directions, just boom, 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 boom. So if you could see right away, look at his neck, for example. If you look at his neck, you see how he has two cast shadows. There's a strong cast shadow here and a secondary, not so strong. So that tells you right away there's at least two big lights on him. So and you can see it here again, right there. So comment below if you have seen this, two cast shadows. So that right away is not easy to handle. So we have to be very disciplined with that. But there is a dominant cast shadow, so we'll run with that one, the darker one. And let's look at the highlights. You can clearly see he has a rim light back here. That means there's a big old light behind him, right? Um, it's also a little bit here. So, and then we can look at typically when you light a model or an actor or whatever, you the lights are above. That's 99% of the time. You only put the light below if you want some kind of dramatic effect. So 99% of the time to be above. So we could see that although there's at least we count there's at least three lights on him now. Um, they're positioned generally above, right? You can see strong cast shadow underplane, underplane of the nose, underplane eye socket, right? Underplane of his eyelid, cast shadow of his ear. Even these forms, look at his pectoralis. See that? That little shadow shape means light is from above. And then we can verify this by highlights. So you can see a highlight here. Let me make that a different color, might be better. Highlight here, little highlight here, highlight here. This is not a highlight, that's a rim light. That's that's not a highlight. But if you look at the form, there's a highlight here, there's a highlight here, highlight here, highlight here. So when I look at reference that has complex lighting, like if I had to do this image for a movie poster, one of the first things I look for, okay, where are the highlights? That tells me two things: where the light is, how strong it is, and the type of form. And it kind of gives me an idea about how much I can push and pull because I can edit all of these things, of course, in my drawing. But this tells me, okay, there's a bunch of lights above. That's all I know, and one big light behind him. That's all I know. There's at least two, possibly three. But what that tells me, there's that little highlight here, little one here. What that tells me is because these highlights are kind of all over the place. Yes, they're generally from above, but they're all over the place. So that means he's in a room full of he's in a room full of several big bright lights above him. So that's basically my plan is at least the first goal in form is to establish the key light. So the key light in this case is not one light. It's several lights creating a big effect. Does that make sense? So key light. That's the number one. Key key light. Key. Key light. That's number one. What is the key light? The key light in this case is not one. Typically, a key light is one big ass light that you put on the actor first. It's your big main light, and then you add accent lights, right? In this case, the key light is the ceiling. It's a ceiling full of a bunch of lights. So that's tough. That's not easy. So let's get to work here. So I hope that's a brief understanding of the lighting because it's really, for me anyway, a lot of what we're going to see form rendering, especially with complex light, is two things. One, you have to understand, well, it's three. One, you have to understand the basic drawing of form rendering, right? The edges, the value control. So we all know that. There's lots of videos on my channel if you're new to that. The second thing is, gosh, what was I going to say? I lost my train of thought. The third thing, let's skip the second thing. The third thing is understanding the light. And for me, a lot of this understanding came from um, Photography. I actually I bought my first proper camera about 2 years ago. My whole life I've never owned a proper DSLR camera. Then I bought some proper lights. I brought like proper photography lights, and now I kind of understand photography lights and things like that. But but anyway, that's not it's cool. Let's move forward here. Let's get to the drawings. We don't have a lot of time. I appreciate you being here. Let me put my oops, put my reference up. So it's a good time to pause for questions. Thank you everyone for being here. Looks like the audio is working. Thank God. Thank you. Hi, what drawing app you using? Procreate. Mr. Chin says, looking young and dashing. Thank you. I know. I know. I get younger every year. Going to be 20. I'm going to be 28 this year. Again. Does this course go into figure and portrait? No. No, but you have to know how to draw a figure. I have two very deep programs on both figure and portrait, and a book. Hello from Ohio. Welcome, Ohio. Thank you. Okay, let's get started here. We don't got a lot of time. I'm gonna try and go as fast as I can. Just put some noise down. And forgive me, I'm not gonna talk that much because I don't want to be online too long here. But I will pause later for questions, so I appreciate you being here. I'm just glad this is working today. These Procreate brushes are nice, but they're a bit unpredictable. I guess I just need to spend more time with them. Um, oh, okay. So what I did was I just put a nice uh, first pass of shadow and tone, gradients and things. Um, I just kind of he does have cast shadows. He does have darks. So he does have shadow shapes, although they're all over the place. I just kind of want to put a general sense of the shadow shape there. And let's take a look at this real quick too. This is a little bit helpful. I don't know if you guys can see my screen now. Okay, you can, but this is a little filter I put in Photoshop on the reference here, and I turned up the contrast a little bit. But this is sort of my game plan. Even though we have six lights on our model, there's still a simplified value structure that we must use. Because if we try to just copy what we see, it's going to be a disaster. Now, it could still look okay, but it won't look like hot and fresh. The sexy form look comes from you. It comes from your interpretation of what you see and your understanding of the light and of course your skill. But what I wanted to show you for this is going to be my design. Yes, we're doing realism. Yes, we're trying to, I guess, copy or describe the reference or the model that we see we're trying to copy the naturalism, but I'm going to have to design my drawing to emphasize what I want, which is realistic form, basically. A lot of times what's in your scene and in reference photo doesn't serve you, so you have to design. So there's a lot of stuff here. It's just overly complex. So we have to edit what we see. Some of these highlights we're going to have to edit. Some of these double, triple cast shadows, two cast shadows on his neck, we're going to have to edit some of that. Two cast shadows in his armpit, we're going to have to edit some of that. He has two cast shadows on his bicep, we're going to have to edit some of that. Oh, thank you for the video update. OBS doesn't like me. Doesn't like me. What am I gonna do? I'll never be able to do a decent stream. That's why I'm trying to record it on the iPad. So let's keep going here. What the fuck? OBS don't like me. You know, my upload speed is 120 megabytes. That's pretty damn good. If it's, I got a MacBook with an M1 chip, less than 2 years old. It's a strong computer, strong processor. I got 120 megabit upload. If the stream doesn't work, what am I gonna do? What else do I need? What else can I do? What else can I do? It's just not my thing, I guess. Just not meant to be. I'm not meant to be a streamer, I guess, which is fine. I really don't want to do that. I'm just here for you. Really. My goal is to put out free content. So if the universe doesn't want me to do that, whatever. I don't care. I know when you put out good free stuff, you get rewarded. So if the universe doesn't want to reward me today, it'll reward me tomorrow. I don't know. I don't care. It's not my problem. Those of you who can get a decent stream, I appreciate you. Those of you who are always here for me and showing up, I appreciate you. What can we do, you know? You try to do the right thing in the world and OBS doesn't support you, whatever. I don't care. You try to do good things in the world, YouTube doesn't support you, I don't care. I don't care. The lesson is you do the right thing. That's all you can do. Do the right thing at all times. And that's all we can do as human beings. Do the right thing, give back to your community, create some beautiful art once in a while, or try to help each other out, create beautiful art, help out your neighbor. That's all we can do in life. If YouTube doesn't want to support me in that, that's whatever. I'll find somebody else will. OBS doesn't want to support me. OBS don't want to work for me. I'll find another way. You you cannot stop the truth. No matter how crappy OBS runs for me, you cannot stop me from doing the right thing. There's no way I'm gonna do his face. So it's kind of running with the darkest dark now. This is not right. That's not it. Um, that gives me a good idea about how dark I can go. In fact, let me, this is kind of bothering me a little bit here. Can't do a masking in a group anyway.